Hello, Gemini. Welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor. And welcome to your tea leaf reading. It is so nice to see you, feel you, and let's get started. We're just going to jump right in. We have the number 2. My goodness, my last reading started with a 2 in the middle. So we also have another 2 right here. 2 seems to be a really important number today. And I do think it is going to go through the next cycle of probably, I don't know, leading up into the 17th, which is when, yes, we go into the fire horse, right? The Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year. So we have a big feeling of decisions to be made. Now we also have the heart. We also have, it looks like the letter R, okay? And maybe an R right here as well. So reiterated. Now, this could be a romantic person in your life. This could be a good friend, a really deep love for somebody that you are close to, a child, a family member. But it is somebody that you love deeply. Okay, this isn't just kind of a passing thing. It's not something that's just going to last a season or two. This is a person that I can see you planning to spend the rest of your life involved with, one way or another. Okay, there is a choice that has to be made here. Something has come up. And it feels like it's not necessarily a surprise. But I think now it almost feels like you've been putting it off and now there's not a lot of time to kind of toil in it. Now, I know we just got into the tea leaves, but I want some clarity. I'm going to ask the tarot. We're going to use the Thoth deck here, and I'm just going to ask, what is our situation that's kind of coming up? What are our choices, maybe? Okay, so there has been a revelation. We have that Sun card. First and foremost, there has been the revelation. Everything has come to light. Okay, now, big emotions. 9 of Swords. So we have an element of realizing that whatever has happened, transpired, there was not a lot of thought. It was even at times maybe despite or in spite of maybe you or somebody you love. Okay, so there has been a time where something was happening where, yes, it was on purpose. Maybe not the whole thing, right? But there were moments where whoever was engaged with this situation was like, had thought about, like, premeditated their cruelty, their bad behavior, causing problems. So now, we're going to see. Okay, so we have the Ace of Discs. Oh my gosh, look at this. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Ace of Discs. We have the Ace of Wands. This is like, baby, we are starting over. Like, whatever this was, get out of here. All of it, gone, because we're starting over in the emotional sectors. We're starting over in our physical life, okay? We're starting over with our passion, that thing that drives us to get up out of bed, that thing that drives us to do something, to create something, to love and build and be immersed, connected, unified with something. Okay, all of this is renewed. Now, we're going to pull one more card. I'm going to see Yeah. We have the Hierophant, the high priest. So you are not going to squander. You're not going to squander this thing. I don't know exactly what happened, but I know that it was earth-shaking enough that you changed your whole life, at least a lot of it. You have spent time probably doing some kind of therapy, some kind of self-work, leaning into your spiritual, your religious, your, wellness, aspirations, your goals, your need to connect, your wanting for something else, right? And I see all of this. I mean, all of this happening, okay? So we have the two, which is a decision to make. So we have this energy of having to start over. So you made a lot of decisions. Let's just say that. But with this particular person, I feel like as you are rising into this new way of living, this new person that you have become, this new life you've carved out for yourself, there is really this kind of instinct to probably take inventory of who and what you are allowing close to you, okay? So I feel like this is probably a lot about that, okay? I think you really kind of are doing this with other people in your life as well, but this one is really important because I think for you, it's kind of like, well, there's no question I want them to continue to always be in my life. But at the same time, that didn't work for you before. Just, devoting yourself to the idea that something can remain unchanged. So I feel like you are doing your due diligence and really going over all of the things, not just with this person, but you're doing it because that sometimes you might just kind of gloss over, you might ignore, you might, just, I'll deal with it later on, So I think this is something that, I think it's something that you really should be so proud of yourself. I know, I'm all about talking ourselves up, but I truly mean it because not many of us do this kind of work ever, let alone throughout your life. Because like I said, I think that you've been through more than one cycle of refinement, of self-work. And so, I think that this is something that you should be very proud of. Now we have the letter J, we have a sailboat, which is right up here, sailboat right in there. Now we have a person here. Let me where's my stick? We have a person here. You can see the head and the hand and the body. It looks like there's a cannon. And it looks like maybe... Oh, and we have a person up here with the bow and a shield. So we have that kind of Artemis vibe. We have a snake. Number 8. It looks like maybe the number 82 up here, 82. We have the snake and we have the chalice. We have a person sitting beneath a halo. We have, it looks like mountains and a house behind them. A meditative kind of posture. To me, for some reason, when I looked at it, it said animal. I don't know. But it looks like also we have a mushroom. So what do these things mean? We have a part of self, Okay, I'm not going to say this is another person because I don't think it is. I think this is a part of yourself where there is this real instinct to just kind of go berserker, right? Just to kind of be like, all right, I'm tired of all of this and now I am doing something about it and it's not going to be pretty kind of deal. But, I don't think that that's where you land. I think this is like one of those coping mechanism kind of thoughts that a lot of us have. But I don't think it's like, I feel like there's a sense of understanding that this is not your work necessarily. That when you have these impulses to like rage out or just, like go on the internet and fight with people on social media or, whatever, it is a waste of potent and vital energies. Just remind yourself of that. Baby, you could be doing so much more with that energy because it is potent. That's the kind of energy I like to put into cutting wood. So kind of realigning your energies. Now we also have the Artemis energy up here, the Huntress, right? The maiden become mother soon. And of course, a patron of the moon, of La Luna. So a bringer of dreams, a bringer of, deeper, a very, very deep meaning, right? Now I'm not going to say for everybody becoming a parent is like the most important thing that ever happened to you. I don't know how it couldn't be, but I understand that, it's not always the same for everybody. And then there are people like myself who thought, I'm not having a kid. I didn't think I could have kids or at least have a child to term, right? But I ended up having a child. And I was never like super anti having kids or anything like that. But I didn't think about it too much, and I lived in a world where I did not have friends that had kids too much, and, I wasn't around kids very often, and I just didn't think about it much. Then, I got pregnant, and then my husband came around, and it changed everything for me. I mean, profoundly. I mean, my daughter is the most important, beautiful, magical burst of energy that I have ever even began to stand in awe of. You know what I mean? Like, it's just beyond profound to me. Her and her emerging. And it changed. I mean, it changes you. I don't know how else to say it. It changes you as a person, how you function, how you do things. I would have been happy doing nothing with my life with not having a kid. Like, I just wanted to, I wasn't doing nothing. But, I wanted to, like, just chill, not make that much money, write, make art, go outside, garden, just whatever, like a very low-key life. Well, having a kid, and I still want those things. I still do a lot of those things. But I had to kick my life into gear, and that changed me as a person. It really did. And it continues to do so. So, I feel like for you, there is this real sense of like before and after, right? A real sense of you not fully feeling like the next person you're becoming, but you're not the person you used to be. And this is when that lunar goddess really is so important in my estimation, because beneath the lunar energy, we are shielded from the guilt, the shame, the worry, the witnessing of our transmutation. When we're trying things out, when we're doing new stuff, when we're, trying to be something else or become or whatever it is, right? And sometimes it's hard to do that when people are watching and critiquing and asking, what the heck are you doing? Why would you do that? And so the moon lays cover for us. Okay. And so Artemis in relation is that, and the bravery. It's the bravery. Okay, it's the bravery of deciding that you're going to do the thing. Okay. Now, we have the person meditating beneath the halo. We have the house in order. We have a balance. We have this feeling of being, I almost feel like you're being pulled outside a lot. For one reason or another. I think you're a person who wants to be outside, but there's always a million things in your way, right? Like if you've ever had young kids, you can't just pick up and go, do whatever. Not always. Sometimes it works out that way, but it's not like when it's just you, right? Things need to be prepared. You need to, think about your schedule and what you might need and what, whatever. It's a process. And so I feel like for you, there is a real sense of often wanting to go out, but having all these things get in the way. Now, the universe is putting things in your way that end up pulling you outside where you wanted to be in the first place. Okay, so I don't know, a tree limb falls and you have to go out there and pull it down and cut it up. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily feel like a blessing, but I feel like in this next cycle of time, you're going to be outside a lot. Okay, and that's going to be beneficial to you. Okay. What else did we have? Oh, the chalice and the snake. So there's an understanding that is growing, right? When I say you have knowledge, that's the data. The understanding is using it in a practical way, getting into that data and seeing what it is, seeing how it can change and whatever. And that transmutates into wisdom. Okay, that leaves us with a whole understanding of something. And so when we have the chalice and we have the snake, we have this very apparent evolution of the emotional sectors, right? How you are letting yourself react to the feelings that you are having about the emotions that are kind of, going through your sky. Because those emotions probably aren't yours, right? Maybe they are. I don't know. Do we own our emotions? I don't know. But sometimes they come up, and they come up heavily, right? And so we're feeling them, and then we're feeling them, and we're feeling them, and we have to decide, how am I going to react? How am I going to react? And so I feel like that is really a lot of the work, and I'm not going to say that you all pop off too easily. Gemini, my daughter's a Gemini, but I will say that at times there is kind of this need to remind yourself that, boy, you can get wild. You can get wild. And sometimes, saying what it is or saying the truth or, keeping it real, whatever that means to you, sometimes we got to reel it in a little bit. And I feel like that's maybe just kind of where we're at. Okay. Getting that nervous system into a kind of balanced place, a calmer place. We have a man that's hit by something. It feels like this is like really, I don't know. It feels bad to say this out loud. I don't like this. It feels like somebody who spent a lot of time working, thinking that they were showing their people, their family, that they love them through the amount of sacrifice and work they did, but did not necessarily build those relationships and did not devote themselves to building those relationships. And so now I see we have the person standing here hit by something, and it feels like a blow, like a real understanding, right? It looks like we have people walking this way, and we have people walking this way, and then we have a person just sitting there, like they're contemplating the universe, right? And so I feel like there's this deep understanding that maybe I misused some of my time and effort, right? But here's the deal. It doesn't feel like this is the end. This is not the conclusion. So I think there needs to be this kind of a real like, okay, remember, there's still time to change. There's still time to change that. And so I feel like this is kind of the place that we're in. I don't know if that is a message for you or somebody in your life. Maybe you have like a parent figure or somebody that was like a caretaker or an older sibling or something. And I feel like there is this opening to change kind of the narrative of things. Not the narrative. I mean, yeah, I guess the narrative, but not just the narrative. Like the actual dynamic can shift. But it won't be easy. I don't know. It won't be easy. That's the thing. These things are never that easy, but they are most necessary. Number 28 as our first lucky number. 62. 61. All right. Well, Gemini, I want to tell you I love you because I do, and thank you so much for being here with me today. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, I'd love to hear from you. Other than that, I'll say again, I love you. Please take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We are, all we have is each other, right? Right? I think so. So we got to watch out for each other. And we'll talk soon. Take care of yourself.